house. They don't have the time. Most Americans are not zealots. They aren't. This is not what they go in for. People always ask, I'm not a Christian fundamentalist at all in any respect. And the reason I don't worry about it too much, I mean, everyone always worries about the rise of Christian fundamentalism. You know, a lot of my friends are liberals. We go out in New York City and places like that, and they're, aren't you worried about the rise of Christian fundamentalism? And I'm like, that would take such a sustained and prolonged effort. And the American people just aren't really zealots. That's not where they live. They don't live in that place of like wanting to impose their worldview on other people, and that's why I think during the whole kerfuffle about the trans rights thing, it wasn't so much about respecting trans people, which we do. I think everyone, most people do, or they might not. There's a lot of people that hate people, but you're allowed to hate people from the quietly in your own home. That powers this whole country. It powers our economy. People hating each other quietly in their own homes. But what the trans thing was about was imposing a belief system on somebody else, which I have no interest in doing. And it takes a lot of work and effort. And that's why I'm not worried about like America becoming a theocracy. It's just the American people don't really have, that takes so much effort to impose your will on other people. And usually when that tries to happen, whether it's the trans thing or when it's like radical right wing, I mean, how many states have now put abortion in their constitution, even red states? Okay? So it always backfires. When you moralize to people too much, it always backfires. It has to make sense. 5-year-olds getting gender reassignment surgery doesn't make sense. It's not a religious issue. It's nothing. It just doesn't make sense. A national abortion ban doesn't make sense. And the American people, I don't think, really want either one. So it's going to be interesting to see how J.D. Vance handles that. And it'll be interesting to see if Tim Walz has some type of fun story that didn't happen. I would be interested to see that. The Unalive pod has been used for the first time. The Unalive pod, something that we've been following for a while. We've said on the show, and I've been very clear about this, listen to me now. Listen here. Listen. Hello. I'm here now. Oh. I'm back. I was killed in a car. Don't start. You're going to stop it. I know what you're going to start doing now, and I don't like it. I don't like it. I've been listening to the Candace Owens show. Hey, I know where this is going. That's our Princess Diana bear, who is deeply anti-Semitic. But maybe for good reason, because...
This looks good, though.
All right, anyway.
Not exactly sure.
The people that run this simulation that we're in called life are no longer trying to make anything better. They're just going to allow you to kill yourself. This is something that we've talked about. I predicted this on the show. They are no longer invested in making the quality of your lives better. And I'm not trying to be dark here, and I know I end up being dark, but I'm not trying to be. The people that run the show are just going to make it easier for you to exit. They're not trying to make anything better. There's going to be suicide pods and suicide pills, suicide potions. There's going to be a shampoo that'll knock you out in the shower and dissolve you. They're going to come up with so many different ways for you to kill your... It's going to be actually impressive. There's going to be an industry now. Because it'll start with people, and I'm all for this, by the way, that are in pain and suffering and have a degenerative disease and don't want to live anymore. And I'm all for it. I believe it's a humane way if you want to go that way. But it's going to end up being
after this game, we
people.
Switch over to Counter-Strike.
You know what? I owe too much money. Right? That's one of them. That's happening in Canada. People are going, you owe too much money. They come in, they go, I owe all this money. I don't want to live. And then Justin Trudeau comes in blackface and shoots you in the head. This is where we're heading. We're heading to this. We're heading to this sooner than you think. If you want to die, press this button. After entering the Sarko suicide pod on Monday, the machine allegedly asked the 64-year-old woman who has not been publicly named to press the button that would euthanize her. Well, of course it did. The machine's doing its job. If you want to die, press this button. A 64-year-old American woman used the Sarko-assisted suicide pod on Monday in Switzerland. Is that her?
Let's check making moves at night, so you probably won't.
How fun would that? It's a demonstrator saying we don't want it.
All right.